look, I was satisfied the first time there was a factual basis. I don't take pleas unless there's a proper basis for them. You're saying he doesn't want to withdraw his pleas, certainly based on what I heard at the time, what I've read in the report, what the prosecutor's saying. Any reasonable fact finder could find that there's proof beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm just going to go ahead and sentence him on the R&O charge.
GOP 8237, we have Mr. Jackson, station.
Johnson.
He's another one that gets himself in a lot of trouble, huh? I mean, these are suspend, I guess, just going back to 16, but what's he doing with opiates that weren't prescribed? I mean, he pled guilty. I'm not going to take it under 7411. He's got another case where he had one. I'm prohibited from doing that. He's got another drug conviction. I don't know if we covered that, but I'm not going to take that under 7411. It's good.
Never had any pills.
2014. I didn't say pills. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it was marijuana.
No.
2014.
I can't do it. So if you want to go talk to the prosecutor again, you can. If you want to tell me, Judge, we'll just accept that as a plea as charged, that's fine. I will still honor the other charge, the resist and obstruct under 771.1 that he pled to. And that was back on, what day did I take that plea? What day did I take that plea? I wasn't very good with noting this, Heather. Heather, it looks like on June 17th. So I took that plea.
Yes, Judge, it was.
June 17th. And you can just tell me what he wants to do.
He wants to move forward with the sentencing.
So you acknowledge and understand that this conviction for possession of a controlled substance will go on your record, that I'm not going to take it under section 771, I'm sorry, section 7411. The conviction will immediately enter. It will be on your record, and it's not going under that statute, and I will sentence you on that case. Do you agree to that?
Yes.
And you acknowledge I need not take a plea again, counsel?
Yes, Judge.
All right, I'm just give me a second to make a note. Case not taken per 7411. Please make a note of that, Heather, because defendant had prior drug charge in 2014, prior drug conviction in 2014. So I'm just going to go ahead and sentence you anew on that. And with that, counsel, we have a plea as charged, possession of a controlled substance. We have a plea to resist, hinder, and obstruct an officer. And that's going to be taken under section 771.1. And then there was an expired plate charge that the prosecutor agreed to dismiss file C. So I'm only going to deal with files A and B. Have you had a chance to review the report with them, and are there any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
We have, Judge, there are no additions, deletions, or correction.
Anything that you would like to say on his behalf?
Yes, Your Honor, as the report said, he is employed, he has a couple of children. I would ask for the court, if the court is gonna order any days on that court work program, if the court would take into consideration that Mr. Johnson does work full-time. He does like to spend time with his kids on the weekends, so I would just ask if the court would take that into consideration. Other than that, I would ask if the court would adopt probation recommendation.
Anything that you would like to say?
Apologize for the time that I took for the work. I go back to 1 year old and 4 years old is autistic, which I take care of. The mother is not working at the time. I don't do any drugs. Everything I have done is marijuana. I have a marijuana card. The pills that I did have in the card, that was in my possession, but I don't take any type of prescription pills, or I don't drink alcohol or anything like that. And I do agree with what you said, the other case about violence, so I just wanted to let you know.
Well, I want to, that's nice to know, but why would you have possession of something if you don't use it? Why would you have possession of opiates that were not prescribed to you, that you reported you obtained from another individual? Why would somebody acquire something? You have to take your hat off, please, sir. Why would somebody acquire something and have it in their possession if you're not going to use it?
At the time, Your Honor, there was the person that was fixing on the car that wasn't mine. It was a new car. When I was dropping the car off, I was taking everything out of the car. and I did put them in my pocket. The person who prescribed me had a prescription for them. And at the time, I did have an eruption of eardrum things, and they wouldn't prescribe me anything.
So you were just gonna self-diagnose?
Yeah, they only gave me some antibiotic drops, so that wasn't a lot of pain. Never got a chance to take. I didn't even know exactly what they were, so I didn't have any intention on like had a look or not. But I haven't taken any type of other medication in years.
So you drive out to Ann Arbor every day?
Yes, sir. I work for a nonprofit in Ann Arbor. Recently, I've been there about 10, 12 years, 10 to 11 years. Drop about 40 minutes from Trenton to Ann Arbor.
And are you primarily, you still have, but you still reside, correct me if I'm wrong, with the mother of your children?
Yes, we've been together about 15 years.
Okay, so does she work?
She was working for,
I didn't ask you.
oh, no, not right now, she's not working. We have a 1-year-old that she's taking care of full-time, and so she's not working.
You gonna straighten out your life here?
I thought I did. I haven't been in trouble in a few years, so I think I don't think.
But then you tried to evade the police, right?
No, actually,
You didn't try to evade the police? You told me at the time of the, hang on. I asked you what the basis for the resist and obstruct was. You said you didn't stop when you knew they were trying to pull you over. Do you want me to go listen to the tape?
no, you're not hearing.
Well, is that what happened or is that not what happened? I'm not trying to trick you. I just don't want you to come up here sounding like a choir boy when you tried to evade the police. They could have charged you and should have charged you with fleeing and eluding. You got it? Can we agree to that? I don't want him just to tell me he agrees if he doesn't agree. I'm not trying to trick anybody here. That's not what my purpose is. I just want to have a discussion with you and try to figure out why I think that you're going to do better. And I can't say I see a lot of reasons on that right now. All right, counsel, what else? Anything else that you want to say? I mean, if I'm missing something, feel free to tell me, Judge. I don't think you're looking at this right.
So Your Honor, that night, it was dark outside. Mr. Johnson did see police. I don't think it was an intentional invasion at first. It was he thought they were behind somebody else, but it was dark and you got all these police lights behind you. So once he realized it, which was a mile or so later, he did pull over. But it wasn't an initial, I'm gonna run from the police.
Well, at some point he had that mindset. Is that true or false? If it's false, then I shouldn't have never have taken the plea. Right?
It was a situation, again, Judge, it was dark. You got all these.
I know, but I'm just asking you, if he wants to withdraw his plea because he doesn't think he did anything wrong, I thought at the time he told me he drove when the police were following him, and I'm not trying to, listen, I'll let you withdraw your plea right now if you want. If I made a mistake by accepting a plea that I shouldn't have accepted, I'm gonna let you withdraw your plea.
Yeah.
I thought you told me at the time of the plea because I couldn't understand the basis for the resist and obstruct because you didn't provide me any in the beginning, was that you knew the police were coming after you and you continued to drive. Did you tell me that or not? I'm just asking you, did you tell me that or not? I know how I do things, and I know I don't take pleas when there's not a factual basis. I know I don't do that. If I do, I've made a mistake. And if I've made a mistake, I'm going to rectify that mistake and allow you to withdraw your plea right now. And I'm serious about that. In fact, I'll let you go talk to him about that. I'll be glad to do that because I don't want to take a plea from anybody to anything that's a criminal charge of any kind if they didn't commit the act. And I thought that's what he told me. If I misunderstood, it's my fault. I'll accept responsibility. I'll let him withdraw his plea. We can go back to square one and you can go back and negotiate with the prosecutor. But I thought I heard him say that. If he didn't say that, then that's my fault.
Well, Judge, I think what he said was he knew they were behind him and he should have pulled over. I guess even just to be sure that they were behind him.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
I don't want you to say anything right now without talking to your lawyer. Would you talk to your lawyer first and make sure that we think that you're guilty of that offense? Because if I misunderstood what he said to me, I do not want to go forward with the sentencing on the RNO. And in fact, if he's not guilty of that, maybe the prosecutor can reevaluate, and decide she wants to dismiss that case. I don't know. But I'm not going to take pleas and then have somebody come in at sentence and tell me something different than what I thought they said. So if he said something that I misunderstood, my fault, I take responsibility, and you guys can go back and talk to the prosecutor. But I think you should talk to your lawyer before you say another thing, okay? And again, so you got two charges, and if he doesn't feel like he's guilty of the R&O, I don't want to plea. Okay? Thanks. Mr. Johnson, your name.
Sorry, Johnson.
So I indicated I was not taking the case pursuant to 7411 on file B. I began my sentence. I actually, for the most part, completed that, went on to the attempt R&O, and then that's when he started to tell me he didn't do anything wrong, essentially. That's so many words. So I offered to allow him to withdraw his plea. What would he like to do?
So, Your Honor, he doesn't want to withdraw the plea. What I believe happened, Mr. Johnson saw police behind him, but some of the police kept going. Even though the officer that got behind Mr. Johnson said that he was gonna be pulled over for his plate, I would imagine he was also gonna pull Mr. Johnson over for not stopping when you saw emergency lights. So Mr. Johnson continued to go up the ramps, even though it was police behind him. So he didn't run, just should have pulled over, and he did not pull over until what was it, about a mile.
This
So
was at 2 o'clock in the morning, right?
right. So if we have a trial, the jury.
There weren't a lot of cars around at the time, were there?
It was just.
Yes or no?
I'm not sure. It was like 6 police officers, cars flying by me, so I didn't know they was behind me or what. They went past me. I came up off the
You
ramp.
had an officer following you for how long?
I'm not sure.
You don't know? Could have been more than 10 feet?
I'm not sure. Like I said, the officers, there was a bunch of police officers passing me. I don't know when he got behind me and really started trying to pursue me. I never went up the speed. I never got off the track of going home.
Judge, I believe it was from the exit of the freeway to Mr. Johnson's residence.
Observing that the vehicle was not pulling over to the right, I continued to follow the vehicle with my emergency lights and sirens activated. The vehicle proceeded to exit I-75 and turned onto West Road traveling westbound. The vehicle continued traveling westbound through Goodith and then through Fairway Drive. The vehicle proceeded to travel westbound west through Westwood Drive before turning onto East Lorraine. The vehicle then came to a stop for a brief moment before moving again. The vehicle then came to a complete spot. During this vehicle pursuit, the vehicle continued to flee and did not stop. The top speed of the pursuit ranged from 30 to 41 miles per hour with no traffic on dry roads. Where were you going at the time that this officer was following?
When I stopped at the speed bump, I was on home.
Where were you going?
I was going home. The complex that I pulled it is where I stayed.
So you had no idea this officer was following you?
No, Your Honor, the car that I was driving was not, they usually leave their, what's the name, to tilt it down and I didn't touch anything in the car. When I came up, it was police officers going past me. They kept going. I thought I was getting out of their way by coming up off my exit, and one must have still got behind me. So as I drove
Call in Ms. Foley Carter. Anything?
Regarding the township.
I don't remember the exact nature of the factual basis that I took on this RNO case.
Gary, before you run?
Yeah, I read the report. He's denying knowing that they followed him now,
Yeah.
that they were following him.
Time to do evacuated traffic stop at Sibley on 75 due to the plate being expired. Mr. Johnson continued on. He eventually exited at the West Road exit, continued down West Road into Marion Manor. That was roughly 4 miles. The officers had, it was at night, so, and with his lights on, the officers had to effectuate a felony stop due to the fleeing situation.
Does any of that refresh into your recollection?
Not that he was behind me, but when I did notice that the police was behind me, I was pulling over and that's when another one came to the front of it. That's when I got out the car and I actually told the officer I didn't know it was behind me. I never.
We got a police officer with oscillating lights at 2 o'clock in the morning following you for 4 miles, and it didn't dawn on you that he might be asking you to stop?
I didn't believe it was 4 miles. I came about the freeway. When I came about the freeway.
Did you go?
Eyes come up time.
Like, see,
And if I may,
Yeah.
when
I can't-
used the body cam footage, Mr. Johnson told the police that he didn't know it was for that him to be pulled over.
Yeah, because they was going by me. There like 3 other police officers went by me. So when I came up, I just came up on my regular exit. I didn't know. what
And
was-
you're saying it was 4 miles?
It was from the exit of Sibley Road on 75, all the way up to Marion Manor back. So he went through Woodhaven into Brownstown.
Okay, listen. Do you dispute anything she just said?
I don't remember being on Sibley. I was just on the freeway and I came up on West Road.
Sydney, F.
Oh, Sibley, yes, no.
Look, I was satisfied the first time there was a factual basis. I don't take pleas unless there's a proper basis for them. You're saying he doesn't want to withdraw his pleas, certainly based on what I heard at the time, what I've read in the report, what the prosecutor's saying. Any reasonable fact finder could find that there's proof beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm just going to go ahead and sentence him on the R&O charge. I'm taking it under 771.1. You're free to go. I've already announced everything that I'm doing on the possession of a controlled substance, and I'm simply going to run these concurrent. I will not violate you not because I think I like this, but because the law is that you can use medical marijuana. So if you test positive for if you have a valid medical marijuana card and you test positive, I will not violate you. If you don't have a valid medical marijuana card and you're positive for marijuana, that will be deemed a violation. I'm going to repeat my sentence, 12 months probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate a law. You must appear in court as directed, report to probation as directed, no alcohol or illegal drugs or marijuana. I will not violate you if you test for THC marijuana, so long as you possess a valid medical marijuana card. You're going to submit to chemical testing, PBTs and ETGs as follows: weekly for a month, bi-weekly for 2, then monthly. Kratom, poppy seeds, and CBD oils are prohibited. Consuming food or other items containing those substances will be deemed a violation. AANA twice a week until an outpatient treatment. Once you get an outpatient treatment, you no longer have to attend AA or NA. 1 day on the court work program, there's a $35 charge for that. I'll put that on the possession of a controlled substance charge. 3 days of community service by September 10th. 12 months probation. 150 fines. This is all on the impaired charge. 150 costs, 75 victim rights, $50 justice assessment. That's 4 1/4. Screening fee 60 for 485. Probation fees are 240 for 725. Seek court work program fees are 35 for 760. On the other file, I'm running all those same terms concurrent. Every single one of them. We're going to do a day of court work. But I'm not going to charge you again. 3 days community service by September 10. All those same terms will apply. They're all running concurrent. I will only charge you, I won't charge probation fees on this file. I won't charge, and I'm talking on the R&O charge. I am taking it under 771. Fines 100, costs 50, 75 victim rights fee, $50 justice assessment, 275. That's all I'm going to charge you. I am going to add another $40 on attorney fees on that file, $315. or 90 days. I'm gonna give you a review hearing date. If you're compliant at the end of the specified 12 months, I'll dismiss that on their motion, and they will move to dismiss. So you have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, so you owe $760 and $315, which is $1,075. He does not, I don't believe, have a bond. Can he pay all of that today? How much do you have today, sir? Why not? You're not taking this seriously.
No, I've been here 6 times on this case. I've been 6 days of work. He's an FMLA, so I have my paychecks when time and this stuff.
All right, but don't blame us. You were here 6
No,
times.
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you came for a pretrial on February 18th. I arraigned you, March 19th, rather. March 19th, then we set another pretrial at your request on May 20th. Then you wanted a jury trial. I set a final pretrial for June 17th, jury trial for July 24th. You came here June 17th, and you're here today, so you were here 4 times, not 7 times. If you came here on some other case at some other place, that's fine, but you were only here 4 times. That's what I'm doing. I'll let you pay this. I'll let you set up your payment plan at a reasonable basis. Tell me what you can afford to pay and when. How much a week?
I get paid bi-weekly.
Tell me how much bi-weekly. I'm sure, I'm sorry?
I'm not sure.
You sure you can do that? You don't have to do that. I'll let you pay 75. When's your next check?
Next week.
What day? Friday? So you're going to get paid on July the 10th?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Beginning July the 13th, 75 bi-weekly. He's going to pay first, Heather, on the 198A case, and then 75 bi-weekly on the other file, and that will occur after fines costs paid on the A file. Okay? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Stay out of trouble. Okay?
Yes.
All right, good luck. You'll meet with probation before you leave.
Thank you.